I am WPRB.
I am WPRB.
I am WPRB.
I am WPRB.
We are WPRB
Princeton.
Princeton.
Community supported radio.
You were listening to WPRB Princeton 103.3 FM, and I am joined here with Tired Horses. I'm DJ Thoge. I have a show called The Laboratory from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., which you are listening to right now, I guess. And yeah, we're here with Tired Horses, self-described psychedelic indie jazz quintet based in Brooklyn, New York. And yeah, would you guys like to introduce yourselves and the instruments you play?
Hi, I'm Cameron Chris. I'm the guitarist and I guess band leader / whatever. Yeah.
I'm Mike Talento. I'm the saxophonist.
I'm Henry Plotnick. I play piano. Let me just say, this is the laboratory. It's an honor to be your guinea pigs today.
I'm Sexton Drody, and I play drums in the band.
I'm Noah Amick, and I play bass.
Nice. I know I just called you a psychedelic indie jazz quintet because that was what's on your Bandcamp. I know labels can be restricting sometimes. How would you guys describe yourselves in your music?
Cameron.
I feel like that kind of sums it up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we all just kind of bring our own style and we just play. You know, like, I guess we're not really jazz, we're not really rock, we're not, but we're
Not even really music.
we're not even sometimes.
Yeah, you were talking about just playing. Can you tell us about like a little bit what you played today? And
Yeah, so today we didn't really discuss anything or plan anything or even practice. We just kind of played what we were feeling. We play at a place called Troost in Greenpoint once a month on the first Monday, and we basically do exactly what we're doing here. So that's basically how we've gotten to the point where we can do that. So we do like 2 sets, and it's just someone will give us an idea of what to start off with, and then we just roll with it for 45 minutes and see where it takes us. But I think we just played so much that it's like we end up with some kind of arc where it feels like we're going someplace, and like we just trust each other to resolve.
yeah, I felt that today for sure. Do you think any of like ideas from what you've recorded or played in the past came out today, or was it how new do you think everything you played today was?
That's a good question. I feel like, and you can kind of correct me if or interject any of you guys if you feel this way, but I kind of feel like every time we play, we kind of have a set of like vocabulary maybe that we've developed as a band that we can kind of fall back on, but also use as a base to come up with new stuff. So it's a lot of listening and a lot of just kind of understanding where people in the band's brain is. So like if I play something, I know that somebody else is going to hear it and build off of it, and from that will, once they build off, it allows me to build off what they're playing on, and kind of like cascades, and eventually will lead to something else that's totally new and fresh if we're like firing on all cylinders. Sometimes it's a hard way to play, I feel like because some nights I feel like if we're doing that, maybe we're meandering, we're trying to find something, and then other nights it just kind of like clicks right in. So I think it's kind of a product of where we all are in the moment too, but really I feel like we usually come up with some of our best playing as a group in like playing that way. You guys agree?
Yeah, I was saying like you guys listening got lucky because this felt like a set 2 usually, like when we're finally warmed up. Like a lot of times like when we just start, like we just are like trying to like navigate for like a half hour before we finally click. But I don't know, sometimes you just works.
Oh yeah, I would also just say for you listeners out there, I feel like often as Cam's band, Cameron often starts off the kind of initial seed of the idea, like when he's talking about an arc. Like I don't know if we ever took we might have taken one like full break in there, but there was a lot of things that kind of just flow into each other, where it's almost like songs in a way. They're not fully like planned out as songs, but it's kind of like, all right, we had one main thing that kind of had an arc, and then it kind of transitions into the next thing. But there's those moments where we kind of reach a natural ending point, and often Cameron is the one who starts off a new little kind of idea from there, and then that blossoms into the next thing. So it's almost like the one tiny little piece of the last thing carries over and kind of mutates into the next thing. It felt like today it was a lot of Cameron starting it off, which we always like. It's hard to be the creative one sometimes and the one with the ideas, so it's good to have this guy around.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch us play, like, you'll see that at a certain point I'll just be like pointing to someone else, like, come up with something. Like, I don't have anything to go off of. Just go. And then, luckily, these guys usually take us somewhere new. But yeah.
Kind of pivoting from that, like in the sound check, at least you guys are playing very free, and you were playing free during the set as well. And there's of course also some of your other songs like 3/4, which are more mellow, and I don't know, where do you guys see your sound going from here in the next coming years?
That's a great question too. I feel like this like cop-out answer that I'm about to give is definitely a cop-out answer, but I feel like it could go anywhere. A lot of times it depends on our mood, like the way we're playing. You know, we all listen to music that's like, we listen to free jazz stuff. We all listen to like indie rock and like funk, like, you know, alternative stuff. You know, you name it. Like, I feel like everybody in the band listens to all sorts of genres, which kind of opens up all our ears in a way that, like, if we want to get weird, we can get weird, and if we want it to sound like an indie night, you know, we can do that too. Like, we've literally had we've had
country
times,
nights.
yeah,
Country groove,
right. We've had a country groove. We've had nights where we're like, we're all feeling kind of like mellow and tired. Let's just play like some indie stuff.
Right.
We're gonna pick up some
The house
ambient
set
indie rock
at,
stuff.
at Aftermath.
Yeah.
I think also a lot of times our sound is dependent on the environment we're playing in. Like, you know, Cameron mentioned Truce, which we play at a lot, which has a very, their aesthetic and vibe is kind of like a avant-garde, experimental type of thing. And then I think like a month, maybe 2 months ago, we played a gig at this newer place called Aftermath in Ridgewood. And they are a little bit more kind of 90s house aesthetic, you know. While we were playing the set, they had Neon Genesis Evangelion playing in the background, like craft cocktails, like that type of energy. And, you know, after like the first 20 or 30 minutes of the first set, we're kind of like, this is like exactly the vibe of this place. And then we started trying to make live house music.
Acid
which,
jazz.
Yeah, acid jazz, live house. Yeah, that was really fun. So I think it also depends on like not just what we're bringing, but what the energy in the room is as a whole.
I think a lot of times too, like we were talking about this a little bit earlier too. We have our kind of free improvised sets, and then we have our like music that we've recorded a little bit and we've actually written. And I think that kind of takes on the flavor of whatever we're listening to at the time too. And a lot of that stuff comes from just us getting together in a practice room and doing the improv stuff, starting a jam, just seeing where it goes. And then we'll stumble upon something we like and stop and be like, okay, so let's write that in stone. Now, where does it go from here? And like, you know, so it's a very organic process that kind of is not separate from, I guess, our improv process as well. It's just kind of like, you know, making sure we remember what we're playing, like stopping and make sure we remember, and then writing it down. But, you know, we have our song G-Bus, which is like krautrock aesthetic.
Yeah,
and
then it kind of morphs into
Yeah.
like a 70s fusion
Yeah.
thing.
Well, mechanical gets weird, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah, so-
doom metal free stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's also kind of like my favorite type of thing is just like stylistic shifts
Yeah.
on a like
Yeah.
very quickly. So like on our like more composed stuff that tends to happen.
Yeah.
Which I feel like the free improv type stuff, like it's like a good workshop, because like I usually record like on my phone like voice memos of every set, and then from that like I go back and listen and say, okay, like let's work this into something, and then like, oh, maybe this idea from this month, and like 3 months later there's another idea, we just smash them together and like,
Yeah.
okay, that could be something, like
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that's a good way to work for us. Have anything to say? Yeah. You look like
Yeah, no, what I was thinking that I feel like it's very fortunate that we have a band sound already. And I feel like it's just because we have been playing together for a long time. And every time we play and new people hear us, I feel like it's just, they really like us because we have that band sound. And it doesn't matter what we play or how we play it that night, they always enjoy it.
Yeah, I want to add something to that, actually. Everyone in the band, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to speak for everyone here, but we all play in a lot of different acts, like we're all working musicians
Yes.
in the city.
Yes.
A lot of the times it's backing artists who have their own music, write their own music by themselves in their room, and a lot of times it's incredible, a lot of times it's just a paycheck, but either way, it's this different energy of all of us, I feel like primarily are sidemen and really work for other people and try to bring their music to life. And I think when you get 5 sidemen who spend most of their hours doing either cover gigs or these original indie gigs or something, who are all jazz inclined, for a lack of a better word, this is like really an outlet to kind of let it out, get as weird as possible with it. And I think that's a lot of the idea of like, we have a sound already, it's just because it's all of us being like, well, this is what I don't get to play in every other gig. I'm going to play it now.
That's a great point.
And just to add to that, like the thing about the sidemen thing, it's all about, you know, being able to accompany someone and support them. And the spirit of free improvisation, at least in kind of the way we do it, is like, what if everyone is just supporting each other in kind of an equanimous, like, equivalent way, where no one is necessarily the leader and it's their thing and they're the person up front and everyone else is in the back. It's like, what if it's just this group supporting each other? Like, we're all sidemen, but that makes us, you know, in a way, but it's like...
Also great Princeton level word.
Princeton. I don't think I pronounced it correctly, but, you know, it's the best I can do. But yeah, I guess I would just say that.
Yeah, I was gonna say basically the same thing. Like, our regular keyboard player, Jack, Henry's filling in with us tonight. Well, this morning. But
Whenever this
is. Yeah. Always says like, there's everybody in this band is like a type B personality, so it's just like everybody is like, nobody's really like gonna be the one that's like, oh, I'm gonna like tell everybody what to do. We're all
He
just
briefed
kind
me
of-
on that before I got here. Yeah,
We're all kind of just like, okay, we just like all are supporting each other. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. I was wondering about the name Tired Horses. And I mean, I have some theories for because there's a Bob Dylan song.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, that was we were.
Didn't we have another name first, and then
We but we never played a gig.
No, we
Excited
were trying
cows.
to come up with
Yeah, we
Excited
were,
Cows.
we were like cycling through a bunch, but yeah, it was basically just pulled from the Bob Dylan song from the Self-Portrait album.
Yeah. Also, you were talking about like how what you guys play reflects kind of what you're listening to at the time to some degree. Could I get like a song recommendation from each of you, even if it's like not related to, you know, the sound of you guys?
Oh yeah. I'll give an album recommendation that I was just listening to on the way over here and I've kind of circled back to Joshua Redman's Elastic. I like every couple months I like come back to that album and I'm like, this is just so good. It's so good in so many ways.
Brian Blade.
Yeah. What amazing band.
Yeah. I was gonna say Brian Blade and the Fellowship Band.
Yeah. Something I've been listening to is Herbie Hancock, Sleeping Giant, which I feel like it's a very similar to what we do, where it just like kind of like cycles through these like, okay, they're on this thing for a while, and then it just kind of like and then another thing just, you know, comes out, and then the band just develops it. You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of like really like the same kind of approach that I feel like we're going for.
Mhm.
Good.
I'll just go a different direction with it. I've been listening to this duo, this group, Dillard and Clark, from the 60s. I'm just going a different direction with it. Very, like the Byrds, very Byrds-ish kind of Laurel Canyon, Southern California, country rock type of vibe. There's this song, Why Not Your Baby, which is a non-album single from this, in the same period as this album that they did, The Fantastic Expedition of Dillard and Clark. Amazing song, great album, highly recommend. Beautiful harmonies.
The new Hiatus Coyote. I don't know, like, it's been on repeat since it came out. It's incredible. Cinnamon Temple. So glad it's out. So happy. Beautiful song.
Also, I just want to add the new Charlie XCX album.
Oh, yes.
I've never listened.
Slaps. I've never listened either.
I-
My girlfriend. No.
It's great, I think.
I've never listened to
It's
it.
good.
It's amazing. No, my girlfriend just has it on in the apartment, and I'm just like, every time it comes on, I'm like, yeah, this slaps.
Hyperpop
This is great.
scares me.
That
Mm.
I'm
it should.
intimidated by it.
It should.
honestly.
I think we should
I'm
go in that
scared.
direction.
We should do some hyperpop.
Yeah.
Are you gonna
That's the
say-
answer to your other question about where the sound is going. It's
Yeah,
hyperpop.
it's hyperpop.
That's the
It's
direction.
I mean,
Hyperpop.
hyperpop is kind of the singularity of music.
I think that's the idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. I don't have many more questions, but what should everyone know about Tired Horses? You guys have any shows coming up? Anything we should know?
Yeah, if you're in New York, that's basically where we're playing right now. I mean, eventually we're gonna try to get on the road, maybe play some out of town shows in Philly or, you know, around the Northeast. But right now we're playing in New York at Troost in Greenpoint the first Monday of every month. 2 sets, 8 to 10. So if you like what you heard here, we're basically playing exactly that type of thing. And we're playing at a new venue called Umbra, which is just opened up in Bushwick on July 19th. So that will be the next thing. And then,
New clue.
That's it.
yeah, so yeah,
Keep an
follow
eye
us
out
on
for New Blue.
Instagram, Tired Horses Band, and we'll keep you up to date. And yeah, we got some music on Spotify of our more arranged, composed music. But if you like this, you'll probably like it too.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for coming and playing. It was really nice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so
Thanks
much.
for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
Yeah.
you.